What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, reviewing today Gears of War 4. The world of Sarah has seen a lot of harsh battles. First, there was the bloody Pendulum Wars, where mankind fought against each other for the limited amount of energy that existed. Then came the Locust, a terrible species of monster that had been hiding underground, only to show up one day and nearly wipe out humanity. Through the hard work and smart thinking of its soldiers, the army just barely managed to fight them back, making the world safe again. The story for Gears of War 4 opens 25 years after the close of these conflicts, showing us a more peaceful time when people can live relatively nicely. Our new heroes reflect this mood, being a lot brighter and more laid back than the gritty, angry team of previous games. JD, Kate, and Dale are members of a small settlement that call themselves the Outsiders. This is a society that chooses to live without the protection of the giant robot police force that guards the rest of the population. While this allows them more freedom, it also leaves them without help when tragedy strikes. The entire single-player campaign takes place during one night. When hideous creatures break into their camp and drag everyone away into the darkness, our team are the only people strong enough to try and track them down. Gameplay is still just as fantastic as this series has always been known for, but with a few twists to make things more fun. The foes we face are well armed and ready to kill anything in sight, so the key to keeping your head on is to stay behind cover and shoot fast. Sticking to walls and popping out to fire off rounds has long been a staple of this franchise, and yet somehow things feel more refined this time around. Aiming, jumping over obstacles, or trying to reload your gun during a terrified sprint all seem roughly 10% faster. Because of this, the overall flow is a lot quicker and higher energy. When you're fighting off robots with a sniper rifle and know that each wasted bullet means someone could die, or riding an elevator to a hive of bad guys, every moment stays intense. Perhaps what helps the campaign pacing the most is that we have so many different kinds of enemies showing up and lots of ways to defeat them. The deadly DB mechs may have been designed to protect citizens, but they can just as easily be set to kill and start ripping people to shreds with their custom weapons. Likewise, the main new foe are called the Swarm, and while they're just showing up to the series, they clearly have done a lot of training. These savage monsters are willing to use anything in combat, whether it be a machine gun, handmade explosives, or a massive mining saw. Within each group, you also have a wide variety of units. Basic ground troops, hulking beasts, and even a few large bosses all show up to try and murder our team. The complete single-player campaign takes about 8 hours to finish, and while it was extremely cool, especially as somebody who loves this world, it does take a long time to get going. It's one of those games that leaves you waiting for the real action for nearly an hour, but once it starts moving, you won't want to stop playing it. After you get done saving the planet from this fresh threat, you get to the real highlight of this project, the multiplayer. In Gears of War 4, we get two very different styles of online play. There's player versus player combat, where you can compete in different game types to try and score the most kills, or horde mode, where you and a squad of others can work together against waves of enemies. Many of the modes from classic titles return, like Deathmatch or King of the Hill, but they've also introduced two new game types that are absolutely awesome. In Arms Race, each team is given powerful weapons, and every 3 kills you score, you're given a new gun until you've used every weapon. At the start, you have the insanely strong Boom Shot grenade launcher, which is pretty easy to blow people up with, but you'll soon move on to other weapons, so to win this, you truly have to be the master of everything. The other new mode, and my personal favorite thing to play in this game, is Dodgeball. Think of this as your standard team deathmatch, but with a small added element. When you die, you stay dead until a teammate can slay someone. Each enemy you beat down lets a friend respawn, creating a fantastic tug-of-war mechanic. There were several times when I was the last person standing and I could see that I was being surrounded. Rather than panic, I managed to keep calm, scoop up some ammo, and try and nail a couple headshots. Every death meant I had more backup, and the odds would swing more in my favor. Playing this mode was wonderfully addictive because of this system. If you aren't the competitive type or you just enjoy co-op, then Horde mode is definitely more your pace. In this, you're tasked with the rather difficult mission of surviving 50 waves of enemy attacks in a row. To make this slightly more possible, you can build up a base to keep you protected. At the beginning of a match, your team can carry this large box called the Fabricator to any spot on the map you want to defend. This device lets you build barriers to slow foes down, turrets to blast anyone who gets close, and even extra guns in case you aren't finding what you need in the field. To power it though, you need to kill monsters. Lots of monsters. When things die, they drop energy which can be brought back to the Fabricator and spent to construct more upgrades. The longer you survive, the stronger and bigger enemies get, and every 10th wave is a random boss. Horde mode works exceptionally well, but basically requires that you have friends on microphone in order to beat it. Since you can each choose different classes that have slightly different abilities, you really need to be prepared before you even start a match. As a whole, I would say that the multiplayer experience in this title is stellar. In fact, it's nearly perfect. The only thing really holding it back is the fact that it has pointless microtransactions. By doing well in battle and completing bounties, you'll unlock boxes that contain random loot. These can also be purchased with points that are earned in-game or with actual money. Prices range from just a few dollars for a single booster pack, all the way up to the ultra expensive mega box that can only be purchased for 25 real dollars. I understand that companies need to make a profit to stay in business, but this seems really greedy, especially since they were pushing gamers so hard to buy the $100 Ultimate Edition. Overall, this is a fantastic project and easily one of the top games of the year. It just has some minor annoyances that hold it back from being better. Okay, so we've heard some good and some bad, but let's head over to the ratings board and put a big number on it. I am giving Gears of War 4 a 9 out of 10. If you own an Xbox One or a powerful PC, this game is totally a must-buy. From the action-packed single-player to the positively brutal multiplayer, this is a title that'll keep you entertained for a long time. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. This has been DreamcastGuy with another review. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, maybe check out my last video. Please subscribe, and if you want, share this somewhere with your friends.